everyone, Stevie D here. Well, weather's starting to change, getting a little cool out, so it's time to put the bikes away, or at least consider how long we're going to be out riding in the cold before it's too uncomfortable to do. So what is it time to do? It's time to start planning the route, or I should say nailing down the route for my world tour. Circumvent. I could hit every country, but my goal right now is I want to try to hit 39 different countries and visit them. So, reason, 39 is kind of a favorite number of mine, a department number, but a number I've had for a long time for a lot of different things. So, what do you do when you're going to kind of plan the route? I've been asked a lot of guys going, are you sure you want to do it? How do you actually go about planning a route or a trip around the world? First, number one, decide you want to do it. Number two, where do I want to go? So what would be the best route? So first part of my route planning is look at the map and see where I want to go, what do I want to travel through. Where is it safe to travel? Is it enjoyable to travel? And feasible. So Europe is one place I want to see. I've got a lot of relatives there, so I'm going to visit. So most of the countries I'm going to hit are going to be into Western Europe. I'm going to try to base my base camp out of Germany, visiting relatives and staying with them hopefully. But I'm going to be going up to Canada. From Canada, flying my bike over to Europe. And then from there I'll ride around Europe, seeing what different sites, and then traveling through Eastern Europe, Ukraine, Russia, Kazakhstan. I want to hit Mongolia, and then end up again in Russia. Flying back into Canada. From Canada, I'll be taking a trip back into Alaska, traveling down back home. So that is kind of the base route. So the first thing you need to do is come up with a base route that you want to do. Next thing is start thinking about what sites do I want to see in those countries. Okay, you can Google them, you can look at travel books, you can go on the internet and check different riding sites or travel sites. And I want to trace the route my dad took during World War II. When they came over from England into Europe and that. So I want to kind of trace his route. I've never been along the Normandy coast. I want to see the Normandy coast and where the landing grounds were. I want to see some of the historic sites and that, and some of the memorial sites across there. I'm also planning on going to the Island of Man TT. It's something I've seen, I've really been interested in, wanting to go actually see it in person, so I'm planning on making a trip there. So planning the route around there. Ireland and Scotland. So from some of the other videos you've seen, a group of us, basically 3 guys in a garage, doing scotch and other liquor sampling and that. I want to hit a couple distilleries, maybe find a few products to send home to the boys so we can do some more videos. Also, part of the planning is going to be where am I going to be riding? You know, what kind of terrain am I going to be riding? And this was a big issue with picking my bike to take. So number one, I know that there's going to be super slab over there. There's going to be Autobahn. There'd be nothing more fun to take a sport bike and zip down the Autobahn at 100 plus miles an hour. But again, that's great for super slab, but then when I get to country roads, back roads, or like Mongolia, no roads, that's not quite the best bike to have. So I picked my KLR for the reason it will do everything, and the worst roads is going to be what's deciding factor for me to ride. So that is why I picked that. So figuring out my route. Also, how far can you travel? So I've been looking at, well, how many miles is this trip going to be? My first time going through and figuring everything out, I came up with like 35,000 miles. Okay, so how much time do I have? I'm figuring maybe 6 months. Time factor is also going to be limited by number one, budget, but number two, while you're over there, is going to be where you can stay and how long you can be there. Some of these countries I'll be traveling to require a travel visa, and travel visas are only for limited amounts of time. Coffee. Hopefully I'll have good coffee. We'll be bringing a little Black Rifle with me just to make sure I have a decent supply. But again, also, when I'm thinking about where I'm staying, am I going to stay in a hotel? Am I going to stay in a hostel? Am I staying in a campground? Okay. If I'm camping, what do I need? You know, how is my tent going to work? How is my sleeping arrangements going to be for the cot or ground mat? Okay, what can I pack? So making lists are very important. So I've came up with a list for just my bike, for my camping equipment. So for my supplies that I may need, such as oil and maintenance and that. Maintenance records on when I think I will need to get new tires, when I will need to get oil changes, and where am I going to be able to get those, or do I have to carry them all? Traveling into foreign countries is always going to be a fun experience, so I had to go through and find out where I can travel as a U.S. citizen with a visa or without a visa, and what is the process to go through to get a visa. Okay. A couple other deciding factors is how far am I going to be able to travel? Am I going to be able to do 400, 500, 600 miles in a day, or am I going to be stuck maybe doing 100, 150 miles in a day? So looking at everything, average travel day I'm looking at is going to be probably 300, 350 miles a day on average. Also, I plan on for every 3 days I ride, I'm going to take a day off. So I can enjoy the sights, rest, do maintenance, just make sure everything's good, upload and keep up with my social media information that I'll hopefully be sending back and sharing with everybody. Another aspect is going to be how long can I be in a country. So some of these countries I will need to actually get a visa. So if I get a visa, that is declaring, hey, I'm coming to your country, I'm going to be a visitor, I'm going to see your sites, but it will only allow me to be in your country for so long. So if it's a 30-day visa, I have to make sure that I can be out of the country in 30 days. And that's including if there be a problem or anything that would arise. So I have to plan according to that. How long will it take for me to travel across your country? So United States, we've got a pretty big country. We're pretty proud of our country in that. We have, in a day I can easily ride across a state. No problem. Even Texas you can do in a day, but it's a whole day. Well, I can ride across Europe. There's several countries you can ride across in several hours. So again, that's not a problem. You can drive across the United States from East Coast to West Coast in 50 hours if you really want to do it. So I know I could do 50 hours easily across Europe, but Kazakhstan, probably not. Going to take a day or two, at least. Russia, it's a lot bigger than we actually think it is. So that is going to be over half my miles is just going to be in Russia. So that's going to take, a couple weeks to go across it and see everything. And I'm not looking at a lot of different sites there. I'm basically just putting on miles. But again, the roads are not going to be a super slab like I'm used to, so I'm not going to be able to sit there and go, geez, I can do 1,000 miles a day, no problem. Over there, Russia, if I get 350, I'm considering that going to be a good day. The thing about planning a trip is going to be what resources you have available to you. So I have paper maps, I have electronic maps, I have some books on different travel spots and documentation of other people's trips they've done. You can go on the internet and research YouTube, and check some of the other sites out there. There's a website called Horizons Unlimited, which is an awesome website for information on traveling, especially overseas, and that there's a lot of documentation on there already. And if you go to the forums, you can pretty much ask any question and you will get a very good, intelligent answer back. So it's nice to be able to have that kind of a resource out there. Where am I going to stop? Where am I going to decide to stay? Do I want to find a nice city to stop in, or is there no possibility of hitting a city? So where's the best place? Is there a national park, a campground, a nice area to stop? I don't want to stop up in the mountains. I want to stop somewhere it's going to be comfortable temperatures and safe if there's a problem. I'm going to try to avoid the major cities at night. I'd rather, come visit them during the day, but at night stay out in the smaller communities. It's usually going to be cheaper and safer. I'm going to have to be looking at my budgeting. What is it going to cost to stay? What's the cost for fuel? Over here in the States, $3.50 per gallon right now. Going overseas, going into liters, doing the calculations, I'm probably going to be looking at $7 a gallon for fuel. Also going to be looking at different aspects. So I have the giant map here to show me, overall route, but I'm going to break it down into smaller maps for each place, such as Britain, France, Poland, Germany, Czech, so I can get more detailed. Yes, I'll be using a GPS and I'll be using electronic mapping also, but I like to have paper just in case, because again, there's going to be some days I may not be around where I'll have easy internet access or any electrical supply besides what I can get off my bike or charging systems I carry. So that stuff may fail, and I will have to revert to paper maps. And then that's always fun is here, everything's mapped well. When you come here, it's really hard to find a paper map for Europe, or I should say Russia, and that's going to be that accurate, or Mongolia. So again, the best you can come up with is what I'll have to find. If you guys know of any good resources for finding that information, or where I can get maps and paper copies of things, please put it in the comment section. I would really appreciate that.